A dope person. I have gift for her, everything. Like
what gift did you bring?
I'll show you.
Go get it.
Yeah, this is something I wanted to give you before, but yeah. Well, here's part of it. So
are those pictures? What is it?
Wow. Sorry, my boys. I see Sean's the only one on the picture. What's going on, Sean? How come I can't see myself? Why can't I be seen?
What are you doing?
Why can't I be seen? Hey guys, welcome to Little Black. But listen, I don't know what was going on there. We had a technical for a second or two there as well. Listen, welcome to Little Black, but night one. It's a quick one, quick thoughts. About half an hour, we're going to be on here. It's going to be speedy, okay? So we're going to keep it nice and quick. But we just saw a clip from Ready to Love. It was kind of crazy because we had Cam talking to Zadia. And I want to be very honest. You know what? The chickens have come home to roost because we can't see 4 or 5 episodes of the brother letting you down gently and not being obviously completely direct. But he did let us know, you know, from early that, you know what, this relationship isn't going to be the one for him. And he was trying to let you know you should date outwardly. I just think this is a chickens coming home to roost situation. And you see when Vern said that Tabari shouldn't be surprised? No. This is what she should have been commenting upon. Zadia shouldn't be surprised, right? And not her making comments about this is what men do and this is what you guys do. This is not what these guys do, okay? Cam was letting her know from early that this wasn't going to be for him. Zadia's face fell 3 or 4 times and she didn't hear, and she should take accountability for that. That's my stance and position. I can't be blocked because I've already been blocked, so you know I'm gonna say my shit, you know what I mean, okay? But a second member of this particular show has blocked me now, so we're gonna go for all 4 at this point. But listen, welcome to Little Black Book. We appreciate you guys. Say locks loaded. I am joined by Sean and by Seaway as well. So Sean, Seaway, talk to me. This clip. You know, it was a painful one. I can't lie to you. You know, I would play the whole clip, but I think we'll be here for longer than half an hour. We can do that tomorrow. What's your thoughts on the clip, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad, you know, because it's like, it just, you know, it started off kind of nice because he was presenting her with the photographs and then it just escalated quickly. So, hey, look, I hate that it had to be dragged out like this, you know, for so long, you know, but yeah, this was bad, you know, this was bad. This was like, how many different times, how many different ways can we say bye, you know?
I'm not using him bye. Seaway, Sean said bye. What's your thoughts on this clip?
I mean, this is what happens. Ooh. Can you hear me? You can't hear me? Oh, hold a second. This is the dangerous combination that us women face when we potentially, allegedly give up the box to a man with extreme potential. When those 2 prongs meet, you have this situation. Cam on paper and what he is in real life could be everything maybe that Zadia wants or that a woman would want. But I think at some point she got so clouded by mixing the things that grown people do together, right? And she was no longer thinking or listening, because as much as I want to blame Cam, and he does have blame, and we could talk about that in a second. He definitely has blame. I'm not going to say he doesn't. But he also, I can't say he was a complete F-boy that didn't tell her in lots of different ways. But you know, he was kind of pussy popping on the fence, and it allowed her to live in her delusion because he wasn't staying strong on his side. He was going back and forth. And that allowed her to live in her delusion. But regardless, he did say it a few times. And when a man tells you once, maybe you get 1.5, you have to take heed and keep it moving. You just have to. And I think that's the result of this. And I felt bad for her, for sure. So.
I mean, listen, I'll play more of the clip so you actually can see it, because I know some people are going to be asking what the clip is. So let's play a bit more of it.
This is one.
Oh my God. God.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
That's something.
Zadia, that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Zadia,
So-
is this more mixed messaging for you?
I just take it as a token, man, of what we've been through. We really built a connection. It's not fake. Like, that's
Is it?
real.
Oh damn! I'm gonna need Tamika to stop putting words in people's mouth. Okay, you've done it one too many times and got Sharice sent to the gulag and sent Ashley to the gulag. So I'm gonna need Tamika to stop putting words in people's mouth. But you know, in that particular scene, we see obviously him talking to her and saying, "Hey, look, you know, just take the gift as a gift. You know, it's my parting kind of gift to you. To say, look, I appreciate the time that we spent. I've learned from it. Basically, what man said is, I use it as a stepping stone, and you know, I realize now that, you know what, I'm going to be better for somebody else. And that's essentially what I got from that situation. But I don't know, what do you think, Sean?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, like, I think this, you know, Tamika seemed well-intentioned, but you know what they say about good intentions. Sometimes it's the road to hell is paved with them. So I think that folks did a little bit too much to keep Cam invested in the process. They should have took him at his word. And he has consistently, if anything, been saying, I'm busy. I got to work. Work is important to me. You know, he done said that about 11 times. So I'm really not sure how many different ways, how many different times that he needs to let her know that work is his main priority. He said it again on this stage. So at a certain instant, you know, at a certain point, hey, don't listen to what your friends say. Listen to what I say. And I think this is when, you know, unfortunately, the sister circle ain't helping her either, because the girls, you know, chiming in the back, you know, that's right. That's what all these men be doing. No, 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 no. Be accountable to you, boo-boo, because Cam was telling you. So I'm sorry, you know, and again, I'm not saying, oh, he just was forced to be, you know, be with her. No, he was not forced to be with her at all. However, his message has not changed for certain.
Seaway, your thoughts of that clip, that part of the clip?
I mean, the peanut gallery, I mean, they've been with her when she's right and wrong. The peanut gallery also tried to tell her, including Sharice, that she needed to stop settling and come to reality. So I'm not surprised that they reacted to what he said on the clip, because I mean, he also goes on to say that he's trying to wrap this up. So I mean, that's a little wild. That's a little wild, okay? Like, you know, regardless of how delusional Zadia has been, I mean, Cam, I need to know how much they're getting paid to be on this show, because his willingness to come back and forth and back can't just be because of Zadia. It has to be the exposure and then the check as well. I mean, because I mean, like, can we just be for real? Like, if we're being so effing for real right now, why was he really coming back? Because this is crazy to me. Like, you knew you didn't have no time. You told her you didn't have no time. And then when she was about to dismiss you, you was like, he kind of gave her like something to hold on to. To me, that was kind of intentional. And then she was back holding on again. And then he was back at it again. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, hopefully she learned her lesson, you know, from here on out. A dude can have all the potential, but if he doesn't have any intentions for you, it doesn't matter. And you're not going to be able to see a man's intentions for you if you allow your judgment to be clouded. I truly believe that Zadia seems to have a lot more sense in other places, but it seems like she got her judgment clouded by whatever Cam was doing down there to that apartment, and she wasn't focused anymore, because I know she knows better. I know she knows better than this. So you got to you know, you can't let your judgment be clouded. You won't make good decisions.
Let me just say, let me cause a little bit of carnage. Just a little. Let me just do a little car crash here. You know, ladies, I want you to pay attention. This is the bullcrap that you guys do to us as men. You see, when you tell us, I was trying to see if it can work. I was just trying to see. I was going along with it to see maybe it would make sense. You know, Cam used the same excuse. Ladies, this is what we tell you. Please stop that nonsense. If you know, you want that person, you want that person. This whole, I'm trying to, I wasn't sure, but I was trying to see maybe he'll be the right kind of guy. That's exactly what Cam just said. It don't work. It really doesn't work. Oftentimes, it doesn't work because you just don't like that person and you're forcing a square into a circle. So yes, I'm causing a little bit of carnage. And, I know the ladies are going to get onto me a little bit. Somebody said they don't know what I'm talking about. Well, then, you know what?
I thought we were leaving these gender wars in 2023. I thought we left.
No, we didn't. I didn't say that.
I
didn't say that. Since you ain't leaving medium ugly in 2023, we ain't leaving that.
Well, that wasn't left, and that was brought up not by women. It was brought up by spiritual words. Okay, so I thought we were leaving the gender wars in 2023. And the podcast, Mike. So, Kojo, I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know what you're gonna do in 2024.
We in 2024, so he's doing it.
He got everything he's supposed to leave behind. Everything, the mic, the gender war.
Let me play one more part of the clip and then I'll get Dre in.
Can circumstances change people's feelings? Because you're sitting here telling me how I should have been in the past. It felt like a relief when we stopped the whole process. I was like, dang, I don't got to keep doing all this stuff.
We got to pause. It felt like a relief when I left. I would have really loved for you to have...
You know what? Sometimes you're just too real. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes you are a bit too real, and I think he was a bit too real in that moment. I don't think he needed... It's like you let everything build up and you said that bar. You didn't need to. He was frustrated. I think he was feeling some type of way during the whole process, but you should have let her know. I didn't like the fact that he let it build up to a point. Like you're acting as if you were telling her, and I know he was, but you're acting as if you didn't have the opportunity to say, listen, I'm out. You know what I mean? This is like playground stuff when a boy or girl likes you in your class and won't leave you alone and you then finally, blow your gasket off. But in reality, I don't think that's the case. I think he could have been a bit even more... He could have removed himself from the process. Unless production made him to stay, then that's a different story. Maybe production told him Zadia wanted him to stay and he wasn't going to go nowhere. Who knows? Jay, what's your thoughts so far to this situation? I know you on fire right now. The Holy Spirit done got you and got us all gathered up together. So talk to us, sis.
Y'all got yourself, baby. I'm not the they in question. Y'all the they in question now. But for real, to kind of answer your thing too at the same time, Coach, about this is what women do to men or whatever and stuff like that. At the end of the day, the only one to be mad at is self. And Zadia's mad really more so at self. However, it's always going to be easier to point at everybody else and say what they did wrong, especially when you got your girls in the back telling you that he the one who did this and that and stuff like that. But a lot of this frustration is at self, because just like he said right there in that moment, I was glad when this process was over. She translated, you was glad when I left. Everything is talking to self still. And I've been here where it's like, I know this person is telling me what they're telling me and I'm still doing what I want to do. And when it doesn't fall out right, I look at myself and be like, you already know. You already know. You knew the whole time. They told you the truth the whole time, but you chose to believe what you wanted to believe. So I cannot be mad at that person. I can only be mad at myself. But I got to show face in front of other people instead of saying, oh, yes, I heard you and stuff like that. We're going to play it up. Like we said the last time, she lives in the lie of it all. She lies so much, she believes her own lie. So this is what you get for believing the lie that you created. This man told you the truth the whole time. So do I feel like he could change over time and he might have learned something from this process of what he can handle and can't handle in a relationship? Yes. Do I feel like he might have led her on sometimes when he shouldn't have? Yes, because he even told us, Tamika, that he has trouble letting go of things when he knows it's no good for him. So the combination of a delusional person who's going to make up a story that they want paired with a person who don't know how to let go when they should is always a bad combination. And this is the result of it. He's told her every which way to go ahead and say, let me go. And for whatever reason, she didn't do it. Now she mad that he done capitalized hers up in some pictures so she can remember the moment that they never had all over. And here we are. Listen, everybody try to tell her, go on, find you something new. And she didn't do it. So she can't be mad at nobody but self. Why she blocking Sean and y'all, I have no clue.
Join the party.
Yeah, Zadia, I don't know why she's blocking y'all. Vern, I know why
She blocked me from before. So I know why I got blocked from Zadia. So I've been blocked from before. But
Jay!
Sean, that list.
I don't know what she
Sean got added to the list.
Hope she don't add me because I feel a
I
pain.
was just gonna leave it alone and let that be an own personal joke.
On a block party right now. So while she's going around doing her, I mean, if she blocked me, I ain't gonna lose no sleep, baby. That's on you, baby. I don't go to your page no way. I don't follow you.
Oh my god!
I bet JSC we don't get blocked. It will just be us two. It will just be us two getting blocked.
No, I don't get blocked by the cast members. They don't tend to be too.
I know they don't be blocking y'all. They be blocking. They must have blocked Sean after the last conversation with Zadia and
I'm
Sharice.
mostly going on the men. I tend to. I'm harder
That's
on
true.
the men than I think I am the women. And the
That's very
men
true.
got too much pride to block me. They just wanna. They want to
men
just
don't
talk
usually
crazy
use
when they
them,
see
yeah.
me. Yeah.
The
That's
truth
all.
right there is too scary.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play a little bit more of the clip and then you guys can jump back in again.
Express this a lot sooner than now, especially after constantly asking and inquiring on where you stood. Finding out that I'm not your person and that you just didn't want to choose me, it's hurtful. Cameron, are you dating anybody these days?
I'm single.
Sean, jump in for me. What's your thoughts? Again, after the
Yeah,
stray
well,
took as
listen,
well.
I just want to start off by saying, listen, I really, I'm, there's no harm, no foul. Sometimes you got to block somebody to protect your peace. So if blocking me protects her peace, then by all means, I respect her wishes. I think that clip speaks volumes because it just says that Cam pretty much is in the same place that he's been in. I will point out a little double talk in what he was saying because I don't think that he says that, I learned what I'm not really sure what he's learned because he's consistently said like, I'm willing to kind of see where this goes. But he's been like 1.5 foot out and like the other half of the foot in, if that even makes sense. So I'm really not sure what he's learned. I think he does maybe, and I think that's kind of the hope that Zadia is hanging on to, is that little itty bitty piece of like, maybe we could make this work out some kind of way. But really, at the end of the day, she's not getting what she wants. And I think that's the unfortunate part. And he's still single. So that means he's still not ready for a relationship. He still says he's working too much. So all those things are consistent.
I hear that.
I just think you have to
Seaway?
stay away. You have to stay away from men who don't have any intentions for you, and that's just the biggest takeaway. Like I think most women in this chat can relate to being in Zadia's position at some point. I was hoping that maybe by the time she got to this process, she wouldn't be, falling for that type of okie doke. But I do think she did make progress in other areas. But being in a position where you are not realizing that a man has no intentions for you is the worst position you can be in as a woman. So, Zadia and Cam, that clearly, I think they're still friendly now. I did see their live. I think we talked about it a few weeks ago. They seem like they're still on good terms. But Zadia did not go on this process for a friend. She went on to actually find love, and maybe she would have found love if she would have kind of aborted mission as soon as she saw that he didn't have any real intentions for her. And at their stage in life, I understand if Cam was talking like that at 27, 28, 29, 30, maybe even 31. But at their stage in life, like, it's time to put down roots, settle down, if that's what you're going to do. And I really just wouldn't have any patience for Cam at that stage. I mean, even now, I would have no patience for Cam in that stage personally. Does that mean Cam's wrong? He can do whatever he wants to do. He has one life. He came in this world by himself. He can leave by himself. If he wants to focus on money, businesses, that's fine. But he clearly, as he stated, is focusing on his business, his money, this and that. That is not conducive for dating and being serious. So I hope next time a man shows Zadia that he's not recognizing that she is where he wants to be at this point, she just, aborts mission. And I really wish, can I just say this? I think sometimes in the chat, we oversimplify things. And it's human nature, right? I think our brains normally try to make things as simple as possible to understand. But a lot of times it's not about Cam's bad, Cam's good. Zadia's good, Zadia's bad. Cam don't want her, he wanted her. Like, I just challenge everybody to just think a little larger. Let's think bigger than that. It's not always that simple. I actually think Cam did want her. I think Cam just realized that he didn't want her enough to change what he wanted to do. Which means, did he want her enough? No. That doesn't mean he hated her, he didn't like her, he was leading her on the whole time. That doesn't mean that. Like, life is about nuance. You know, you gotta, I don't know, I can't make y'all do anything but what y'all are gonna do, but I just don't get how we just oversimplify things all the time. Like, life is complicated. It's not that simple. So, but some of y'all still gonna say he didn't want her, so y'all set yourselves off. Go ahead.
It helps him sleep at night, child. Listen.
Some people just want to be mean to Zadia. He didn't want Zadia. Y'all just want to be mean, or y'all don't like Zadia, so y'all are happy to gloat that Cam didn't want her. Okay.
I'll fill in the blank that they leaving off. He didn't want Zadia the way Zadia wanted him to want her.
That is correct. Now that is correct. That is 100% correct.
And sometimes you run across people that just realize that they can't fulfill all that your needs or whatever and stuff. And I'll just say this from my experience to the next or at whatever. Generally, if I lay down with a man who has not gave me any expectations of how he wants me in a life, I leave it at, I'm laying down with this man because I want to lay down with this man. And that's where we leave it at. And I think for Zadia, that's where she should have left it at, because he told her where his expectations lie, and that was in his jobs, his businesses, his work. I don't know how soon they had messed around together or whatever and stuff like that. If they messed around together, let's put that like that, allegedly. Okay. But if I gave it up to somebody and he already has not placed me somewhere in his life on some pedestal or something, whatever, he's placed me in his life somewhere, I just chalk it up as that we just exchanging energy right now for this moment, and it is what it is, going about my business. And so
you don't want to do that. You don't want to tell them to do that. You know what's rule number 1. You don't exchange energy with a dude that you want to be with.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. If I want to be with him, that's not what I'm doing until I get some confirmation on he wants something more than that exchange.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if I don't get that, then he don't get the exchange. Like, that's just how I feel. Like, some things I'm walking into the thing like I just want the exchange. So that's what it's going to be. And if that person if that person that gives me the exchange and they want it more, my bad. You should have said something. That's how I look at it. We are big and grown. We can communicate. I'm not trying to give up the goods and be like, oh, well, I expected to get a relationship out of that. Well, he expected to get the goods. He got it. Common sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that we're too grown to be sitting here just assuming that our P power is going to make a man change his mind from his finances. That's very hard. Your money, your P gonna have to bring in some finances for him to change his mind, because that's where he wants. If a man is telling you where he is and where he's at, take him for that. Just listen to that right there and go on about your business. If you gave it to him already, it's just like, oh, well, chalk it up. I should have held out a little longer. Oh, well, it was good. I'll double back when I just want some more or something. But you know what I'm saying? If you want to be allegedly loose out here, you just gonna have to roll with these punches. That's it. I don't know what other way to say it to her. You know what I'm saying? We grown. I'm just going to be straight out or whatever. As a grown ass woman, if I'm giving my cookies away to a man who has not presented himself with any interest of anything more than getting my cookies, well, then we just got a fair exchange, no robbery. I cannot be lying to myself and thinking that my pee is going to be the one that changes his life. No, it's so much out there. So I feel bad for this woman. However, she's just going to have to move on. I hope that they can be cool later on. You know what I'm saying? And hey, it is what it is. Because from what I seen, he has told her on camera several times where his focus lies. And it was not her, not one time. So I don't know what more to tell her.
I mean, I'm learning, so I won't touch on the the sex part or alleged sex part or whatever happened. But what I would say is that I think the message was clear when he released her back into the dating process. I think that for me, and I don't want to laugh at that. I'm trying not to, so please
Is she
don't
a fish?
take me down
Is she
a
a
rabbit
fish?
hole with you, Kojo. I'm just trying to make a point.
Release.
Please.
A fish or straight
Not a
on?
fish, but she was a wild cat. She was a
Tell me a
cat.
better word, please. Tell me a
Like
better
a
word.
bird.
She was a
It
catch.
was recommended that she continued the dating process. Okay, release
Oh
sounds
my God.
needed.
Look, Sean, I got
So,
your back. She was a catch.
You and Cam in the same
Surprise
boat.
catch. So he had to throw her back.
Look, if
listen,
you ain't
Gonna be
can I
blocked,
blocked
be double blocked?
again.
if you ain't
You'll be
blocked,
blocked
you're gonna be
again.
blocked
She
now.
got unblock you to block you again.
Well, it was like
Oh God, help me be better. I just want to be better in 2024.
Now
Come
she
on
said
now.
he set her free like a dove. Just set her free.
Okay, I'm trying and I apologize. And I'm trying to be serious here, you guys. So yeah, I think I think if she would have just stayed right there and just heard those words, and I know I've heard other people, even married 10 years, who I love her to the moon and back. She had mentioned like, oh, guys may do that. Yeah, we might, but that means we don't want you, right? That means we do care about you enough to consider you and give you the benefit of the doubt up front and say, hey, listen, I don't want to waste your time. I just need to be honest. And I think he did that for her in his way. He didn't, maybe it wasn't perfectly executed because, they continue to spend time, but that was his way of saying, hey, listen, I don't want to rob you of seeing other people. I don't want to rob you of seeing other people. That means I know I can't be the steady for you. I know I'm not going to be the constant. I think that was a clear message.
Can we talk about the importance of men in leadership, though? I'm just saying. I'm not saying Cam. I'm not saying Cam. I'm just saying.
Wars ain't going nowhere.
You finna get blocked too, see at this point.
Fight on people.
No,
I'm finna block you.
Oh, you finna block me? Y'all don't want to hear what I got to say. I mean, we all know what Zadia did wrong, right? Like, that's pretty apparent. I mean, I feel like that's low-hanging fruit. We know where Zadia went wrong, left. Definitely not right. But I believe Cam's heart was in the right place at many points in this process. But I hope what he took away from this is the importance of very direct leadership as it becomes, when you are a man. Because unfortunately, Cam was being transparent, but then he started to be a little bit ambiguous and he would go back and forth. And what I saw between the two of them, if Cam was more direct and actually stood on his directness, I'm talking about made a decision and said, hey, you know what? I'm actually releasing you back because what I know you want, I cannot give you. And I've had a man do that to me, and I was pissed at the moment. But when you look back, you're like, I got to respect that because he didn't even let me go wishy-washy. He was like, you know what? What you want, I cannot provide. Full stop, period. And I do think maybe, there's something that could be said there. I know there's not a lot of men that listen to this platform, but if you're here, I do think that's a takeaway for you. If you're dealing with a woman that is living in somewhat Delulu land and you can already tell that she's not really hearing what you're putting down, be direct. Hurt her feelings on the front end, because she's going to hate you on the back end as if it's your fault. Hurt her feelings on the front end if you have to do it.
Now, see where I have a thing. So with that person that told you what they told you, because I had this happen to me before, but the key thing in this situation is me and that person never slept together prior to him changing his mind. I don't know if that happened in your case, if the person y'all slept together prior, or he told you this prior.
Oh no, it was after. It was after, and I was young, and he was an old nigga, and that's a different story. But he definitely realized that, yeah, he was older than I am right now, so that was a little trifling on his part. But I say that to say he realized at some point that what I needed in my life at that age was something that he was going to stand in my way, and I wasn't really hearing it. And he was just like, actually, like the definition of what Sean said, like, set me free. Actually told me to go home back to Chicago, because that's when I was in Atlanta with the land of the horrible Negroes. Okay. And he told me literally, like, you know what? I don't think you're hearing me. You need to go home. Because if you don't go home and you're running around after me, you ain't never going to be the lawyer, phenomenal person that I believe I am right now. So he was like, you're distracted. You're running after me, and I ain't it. And I was really pissed when I heard that. But I appreciate the directness. And sometimes, as a man, you need to be direct. Because when women are living in the Lululand, they're not listening. And Zadia was not listening. So.
Phil said
Phil,
that's not good advice. Phil said it's not good advice.
I want to know what about that was not good advice. Please indulge me. I am really
Wait, before you reply to her, Jen, let me play a little more of the clip, and you can reply to her straight away. I promise.
I just don't know what's
Yes, Jay, you want to say reply to Siwe? Go for it.
Oh, I can't reply to the men being honest or whatnot. I just can say that I know more men that end up being honest because they have something else going on, and you becoming a problem. You start to be a situation when it wasn't supposed to be that, and that's when they do get honest with you. But if I'm single and I just want something on the side, chances are, me as a woman, chances are I'm not going to be as honest as I probably would be, because I want that comfort there. And so I feel like in some cases, men are going to do the same thing. Is if I got that easy access to somebody, I'm going to keep that door open, and I'll tell them the truth. But if they don't close that door on their own and they keep walking through it every time I tell them, hey, listen, I ain't got time for you, I ain't going to do this. A lot of people, man or woman, is going to keep that open. That's just what I be looking. That's how I think. It might not be true, but in my opinion, I feel like people, if you got a revolving door, they're going to let you go back and forth as much as you want until they get something more secure in their life. So as much as we want to sit here and tell Cam to be more straight up, outside of basically telling her, I don't want you, and walking out the room and never coming back, I don't know much more he could have said. Now, I could feel that he should never came back, but I don't know the ins and outs of his contract and how this show works or whatever and stuff like that. Maybe the pay was good, what I'm saying, to keep him coming back. I really don't know those little small details. How maybe he wanted more TV time. I don't really know. I do agree he probably should have just got up, left the process if it was too much for him, but he like her. He like her. You know what I'm saying? And so if I like you or left, I don't feel like I want to cut it all the way off. But I'm telling you, listen, I can't give you what you want. That's up for you to take that and make your decision with it. So I don't know, but I do agree. People could be more honest.
No one's advocating though for Cam to ghost her. At least
I'm not advocating for him to ghost her. I'm saying I don't know how much more direct he could have been other than just leaving and ghosting her. Because that's at that point, that's where we at. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he keeps saying, I don't have time for this, what more do you want him to say? What should he say at this point? That's what I'm just asking, like, seriously.
I mean, outside of just saying, I don't have time for this, is saying, hey, I think I'm going to bow out of the process. I do think that is a possibility. But if contractually it's not, then, it's not. I don't know. I'm definitely not saying that Cam was like a huge issue, but I do think there's space for everyone to grow. And I do think there were spaces in parts of this process where he could have been more direct. And that is
Now,
a tip away from everything that Zadia did wrong.
now I agree that one time where Tamika sat down with him and he said what he had to say, I feel in that moment that was his clear out, and he shouldn't have looked back.
Yeah.
I agree with you there.
I do hear that. I'm gonna play a little clip. We're almost done, so.
I'm supposed to be doing interviews for people right now that I need to hire to do my back office. But I'm here with you. Like, we need to wrap it up.
What? What the?
Like, that's like.
Hey, so you can stop doing me a favor and head on out. Wild.
My dude said, you know what? Let's get into a point where we just need to. It's been gone over to just yeah. I'm to go, to be honest. Yeah, don't put on a tray, put it in the bag. I said, whew. You know what? Can I be honest with you? I'm gonna cause some carnage again. You know, I'm gonna be petty again. Okay, I said I was gonna give it up, but it's still early in 2024. Look, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of those times where a young boy likes a young girl, and the girl doesn't be completely direct that she doesn't like him, and it gets to a point where she gets pissed off, and she's like, you know what? Fucking wrap this up. Sorry, my language. Wrap this up. I need you to go. You know when you finally get to that point where you're pissed off? I felt that's where Cam got to. He's like, you know what? I'm tired. Wrap this up, okay? You ain't gonna make me. I've been trying to tell you, you ain't been listening. I'm wrapping it up. You know what I mean? Like, you know, some of us have been there. So, you know, you probably weren't listening to that girl, and you were taking the breadcrumbs. And when you finally try to pipe up to try and make it more than it actually is, they settle you down and let you know exactly what it is. Now, it's a very painful thing. To be fair, I did think the impact versus probably the intention. I don't know if it was intentionally trying to hurt her, but I definitely feel the impact is definitely going to hurt her. You know what I mean? And I didn't like that personally. You know, I think there was a better way of saying it. I think if he looks back on it, he'll realize him saying it like that isn't nice, and it's very painful. You know what I mean? As much as I've said about Zadia taking accountability, which I believe she should do, you don't want to get to that place, you know. And quick story. I remember this happened to me. That's why I'm telling you this happened, right? Going back when I was like 13, there was a particular girl in school, white girl, and you know she kept on telling everybody that she likes me. I had no inkling to like her. I didn't like her one bit, and I told her as well personally, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not really feeling you like that. You know what I'm saying to you? I'm just, you know, I'm single at 13, you know, just trying to be single at 13, okay? And then she came to the back playground with all the black folk. And you have to understand, when you're in an all-black school in the UK, Americans, you probably know as well, you know, things can become embarrassing very, very quickly. So this girl came to the back playground whilst I'm playing football with the lads, or soccer for you guys and the lads. And she came out there and she's like, yo, I really, really like you. I really want you. Da 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 da. And then all the black girls decided. All the black girls in the back playground are now making a whole chant, talking about how, you know, me and the girl. And now I'm getting embarrassed because I really don't like her. She's not attractive to me. You know, da 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 da. So what did I do? I turned around in the back playground to her and I said, "Fucking do one." I said, "You can F off. I don't like you." And I was so loud, and I mean it was super loud. I shouted it. I'm talking about the whole playground heard it. You understand what I'm saying to you? Yeah. And I went back to playing football. Now, of course, you know, I felt so bad, and I saw her in a chip shop, and she could not look at me in the face. I tried to apologize, but she didn't stay long enough for me to apologize. I always felt bad about that day. You know what I mean? You know, had I been a bit more direct, you know, and let her know a few more times maybe that this ain't gonna happen. Maybe this wouldn't have happened at the end. But I say all of that to say sometimes your frustration builds. You've been telling somebody, this ain't it, this ain't it, this ain't it, this ain't it. And the person doesn't want to listen to what you've got to say. It's almost as if sometimes you say something a bit more harshly to get them to understand, this ain't it. Okay, yeah. So, yes, guys, I was unfortunately, mean to somebody when I was 13. Okay, forgive. Okay, all right. But some people don't hear, they don't listen. What's you guys' thoughts to Cam, what he said, and stuff? And I'm sure you guys have your own stories about probably telling someone you had what I told them, but who knows? Go for it.
Vote for King. Pop up. You done broke a lot of hearts with back in the day.
What you say, C-Way?
We want
I
to hear
thought you
your
were
input.
talking.
No, we wanted to hear your input.
Oh,
Let's
me?
hear your own King. Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't say that I've ever done anything like that before. I think I had one breakup where it was kind of similar, it was similar like that, but I think it was her first, where you have an argument and the person says, well, maybe we're not meant to be together. And then I just told her she was right. And I said, I think I think you're 100% correct. So let's just make this happen. I was never one for like, I try not to, I don't know what it is. I'm not saying I was perfect. I might have silently hurt your feelings, but I was never one for like publicly embarrassing somebody. I try not to do that. Um, but yeah, no, I definitely told her that, and she was pissed off. When I tell you, she threw everything I ever gave her in a box and started carrying on like we lived together. That blew me. I was like, okay, well, you said it in my head, but I knew what I mean. When you kind of know what the person is saying, they're saying like, let's fight for this, and they want to kind of have one of those dramatic arguments. But like, it's like, yeah, you're right, actually. You're right, and we shouldn't be together. And then the person wants you to fight a little bit more. But I can't say I ever had that kind of moment. Yeah, he was a little reckless with it. I mean, I've had my fair share of bad arguments, especially when I was married. But nothing like that in public. That was rough. I felt bad for her. I think she kind of heard what she wanted to hear. And this goes back to feelings. You hear what you want to hear. Felicia, cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Sean. Don't you tell her cut it out. She is telling you how she felt. Do not dismiss her feelings.
It's her truth.
Do not dismiss her feelings.
It's her truth. And I'm going to stick beside her.
Well, I apologize. I apologize, Felicia. Those were not my intentions. And if I made you feel rejected, then we'll have to do better in 2024. How about that?
Let's go.
Listen, I'm not saying I never rejected anybody, but I just never did something like so. But again, I'm learning, right? So same message, I got to take it. I can't speak for how the people on the other end felt. It might not have been like an embarrassing moment like that, but I'm sure, there's people that have been like, yeah, that hurt my feelings. So.
I know y'all gonna be mad right now because I feel like he was not wrapping it up to her per se, but this whole filming of this production, like he was in the middle of saying, listen, I'm supposed to be interviewing some people for my work right now, and here I am trying to give you the closure that you need. And you making me be here, and you gonna be on this BS with me right now and all this stuff like that. Like I done told you through this whole process, I'm tired of repeating myself. And I'm definitely one of the people, I don't think I've had a breakup where I had to be nasty with somebody, but I am definitely one of them people that I don't like repeating myself. So the more I repeat myself, the nastier it may get each time. So to wrap it up, I just feel like he like, listen, chick, I'm tired of this back and forth. I need to be going about my business. I done gave you your pictures and stuff like that I promised that I owed you. I framed them up. Here you go. Yeah, I need to be on my way. Not the best. Not the best for somebody that says they care for her and all this stuff like that. But yeah, when you get tired of talking to somebody, this is what you get. When somebody is tired of repeating themselves and saying the same thing over to you and you just acting like you don't understand and you don't hear them, sometimes you get the nastier version of that person. They done told you politely so many times, and now all we can do is be rude to you. So it's a petty people curse. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm just so glad that we ain't got to hear about Cam and his jobs another day after this is over. I'm just so tired of hearing about how busy he allegedly is and all these alleged jobs and stuff that he got to do. I'm just tired of hearing it, and I'm tired of seeing it.
I hope Cam blocks you. I hope Cam blocks you.
Yeah, I hope Cam blocked you.
She hopes Cam blocks her so she don't have to hear about it.
Honestly, he could go ahead. I wouldn't be mad at all. He got about 10 jobs. I still don't know what that man does. I mean, I just know
I need him to send you a DM. I need him to send you a
Zadia's
DM
gonna
as
follow
well.
her now.
Wait, no, he needs to send the DMs telling her how he gonna block her.
That's right. Yeah.
Give her the heads up.
Give you a masculine woman. As they call me, sassy.
I don't want to hear about his jobs no more. It is a sassy man apocalypse. I'm not gonna lie. It is a sassy man apocalypse. It definitely is. But
that's for sure. Cam went sassy.
I know Cam sassy, and I don't think you're sassy, but it is a sassy man apocalypse for sure.
I thought Cam was.
No, Cam is definitely not sassy.
He could have been better.
Example of how women don't call men sassy for no reason. No, nobody on this channel has once called Cam sassy. Why? Because the man ain't sassy. He's some other things. A little indecisive, a little wishy-washy. Wish he would be more stern and direct, but he's definitely not sassy. I think a lot of guys, and I guess it's the gender war 2024, but they think we just call men sassy for no reason. No, the men are acting sassy. But not you, Kojo.
I mean, I got called sassy even though that guy there is because I decided to psychoanalyze. So y'all do be calling people sassy when you get in your feelings. Not all of you, but some of you do. Okay. And then they block you and then call you sassy. But hey, it is 2024.
The irony is they call you sassy, right? But when you call them masculine, then it's like this is misogyny and misogynoir.
Yep, that's it. They're gonna cuss us all the way out.
Yep,
you know what I mean? But let me be my sassiness anyway.
Shut up. They're mad that
rest in your sassiness, Coach.
I've never viewed Kojo as sassy, so honestly, that's hilarious to me. That's why I think it's funny.
I need to give more sass clearly.
Kojo is sassy is a new one in 2024.
It's a new version of sassy, I guess.
That's a different type of sassy. I'm not sure what type of sassy
it's the masculine sassy.
Sassy. All right, sassy. You put the last part of the clip. Yeah, baby. I'm putting the last part of the clip and then we last thoughts.
Them on.
Y'all go through this. Y'all play with people's hearts.
I said he makes up too many excuses.
I mean, the excuses were pretty clear that he had too much to work with, so I don't know. Last thoughts, guys, because I have gone past my time, but last thoughts on this. We can pick this up tomorrow. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up, right? Well, you can't have a full discussion without the sister circle intervention. So
that's true. That's
sister circle is gonna wrap you in their loving arms of comfort and more delulu.
Who's the sister circle?
The sister circle is her friends.
On the table. I mean,
okay.
The gang up.
And I think unfortunately sometimes that could be a detriment, when, and I understand when you're in a tough spot, right? And you need your girls just to kind of give you that love blanket and say, hey, listen, I know that was rough. We got your back, sis. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't lead her down a path of delulu because we need especially y'all ladies to give y'all other sisters good advice to say, hey, after you recover from this moment, let's at least walk away with one thing that we would want to do differently. That's my ask.
Well, Charisse, who I think has one of the better boundaries on the show, tried to tell her. She wasn't trying to hear what Charisse had to say because they was beefing. Charisse did try to tell her. And I think a lot of times people who are bending their boundaries do not want to listen to people with good boundaries. How many times have we talked about that, Sean? When you got some good boundaries and you try to tell your friend to have some better boundaries, they want to fight you and not listen. So, I mean, Charisse, for all her trouble, she did try to tell Zadia that he had everything. He wanted to do everything but be with her. He had all the things he wanted to do but be on that show. It was an inconvenience for him half the time. And, you know, I don't know what to say. She did try to tell her.
And I
Now, we
agree.
need to
Sharice
take advice from Ashley.
in the sister circle that Sean speaks of, Sharice is the only one with the better, the best comment out of it all. You know what I'm saying? You got Vern over here, man will build you up and stuff. Here we go, man blaming with Vern again and stuff. You got Ashley doing all her extras and movements and stuff. And Sharice would have the most logical thing. He had too many excuses. That should have been a red flag.
Oh, and Camille too, Jade. Camille did tell her.
I mean,
right, exactly.
And slow motion, that was hilarious to me just now.
You know what's probably confusing? You know what's probably confusing? That normally with men, you have to judge them by their actions and not their words, right? And I think maybe what was like leading her to the land of Delulu is that his actions was him showing up, which again, we need to read the contract because we don't know what it is. But his words was actually saying, you know, I'm too busy. I don't have time. I don't think this is work. Free yourself. Back to the dating scene you go, right? And so I think maybe that also was part of the confusion, is that Zadia is used, maybe like a lot of women, that if a man is not showing up, then he doesn't want you. But if he's showing up, then he's showing commitment.
But Zadia's confusion is because she's so used to lies and telling lies and stuff that she can't believe words when they're being said. So she's going to rely on action, which now confused her because he's showing up for work, but not showing up for her. So...
And I think Vernisha did explain that on her live well, you know, when she was talking about Tabari, that basically, you know, these people are legit coming in for a day's work. So a lot of it, if they're not putting in the work outside of the process, you know, you can't really go by the fact that they're showing up to go on a date with you because they're getting paid.
Well, here I go. I'm about to get blocked by Vern and Zadia now. But I can't take too much of Vern's work because Vern always like to blame everybody except herself. So there's that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is the problem but her. So with her. And Zadia, you know, once she stops living in this space where she feels the need to have to lie about herself or anything else, she will enter into a way where she can take people for their word and she'll be better off in relationships going forth. But until we grow out of that space of realizing that we don't have to answer to anybody but God, so why do we have to lie to people? She gonna have trouble because she ain't gonna be able to trust people and she's gonna be relying on their actions. And sometimes people's actions is just as untrustworthy than their words. So
let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
And it's done. And it's done.
My Uber's here. Wrap it up. Sean, give us a declaration. Give us
it is true.
The dedication and the dedication and the you know
and the closeout.
Benediction.
Yeah, well, we had a time. We weren't here before you long, but I think we had some good time today on this quick service. You know, appreciate everybody. I think we had a good discussion. And, you know, listen, I really, really hope that when we look at these lessons and, you know, it's not to criticize. We don't want to criticize these folks that are dating before our eyes and, you know, judge them too harshly, but learn from the lessons that we see before us. And sometimes, you know, we have to read the road signs, right? And if the road says danger, if the road says turn left, if the road says construction ahead, it's telling us there's something that's about to come. So please, in our dating lives and our relationships, read the signs and see what folks are saying. You know, don't fill in the gaps for yourself. Don't try to make up your own detour. Read the signs because the signs are there to be read and to be heeded too. We appreciate y'all. And back to you, Coach.
Kojo, gone.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Listen, folks, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow. We can do an extended version of this where we have a bit more time to really dive deeper. I know it was a quick one today. But we appreciate you guys for jumping in. You had almost 800 of you guys join the live. And we appreciate you guys turning out for myself, Jay, Seaway, and Sean. All right. 2024, we started off with a bang and we will continue down that path. Much love, much appreciation. We'll see you again very